Then we're now moving on to the amended agenda, which means we're moving on to page 152 in my package. Welcome, Councillor Pollard. We've amended the agenda to, we're now going to be dealing with 14.4 to 14.14 first. Okay, so 14.4 is the Integrity Commissioner Report, IC 35303-1124, and it is with respect to Deputy Mayor Paula Banks. And I have it, I need a mover and a seconder for the motion to be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner Report, IC 35303-1124 recommendation, requests that Deputy Mayor Paula Banks provide an apology to Ms. Efford. Do I have a mover and a seconder for that? You're moving it?
No, I would like some clarification before you start. I have my hand up.
Okay.
In conversations with the Integrity Commissioner, it was made clear that if we declare a conflict in close, we have to leave the room, but it was not made clear to me if I declare a conflict, if I have to leave the room in open session. It did say that I cannot speak to it or vote to it. I'm just not sure if I have to leave the room.
I'll ask now.
My understanding is under the code of conduct, if it's not pecuniary, you have to leave the room. When
Okay.
it becomes pecuniary, you may come back to the room.
Okay, so if there's any conversation of this becoming pecuniary, I would like to be
You
called
would
back
be
into-
invited back in, yes. Thank you.
Okay. I do not yet have a mover and a seconder then for this.
Yeah.
Moved by Councillor Hutchins. Seconded by Councillor Carr. Discussion. Councillor Maxwell, please.
Well, I'd like to make a motion to amend that motion. It's already been demonstrated at this meeting. Again, the behavior at this table, rude, inconsiderate of people's time, etc. It just goes on and on. The precedent has already been set by this council not to follow the IC recommendations earlier this term, and I feel their behavior should be more than an apology. I'm suggesting 15 days per complaint.
Okay. So are you proposing an amendment then that
I am.
we would add so I would need a mover and a second. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Rideau Lakes amends the main motion to also include a suspension of pay of, did you say
15 days per complaint.
Oh,
We have to
it's
do
just-
one at a time.
We have to do them one at
Okay,
a time.
15 days.
Moved by, I'll second. And Councillor Pollard is seconding that. Okay, so this has now become pecuniary nature, so I would expect
Only if it's passed.
only
Oh,
if it's
sorry,
passed.
but we're,
Okay.
this
This
is
is
an amendment.
to the main motion.
Okay, so discussion on the amendment.
Well, as I already said,
Yeah,
my reasoning for it.
okay, so then I'll call the question. All in favor? Motion is carried. Now we need to advise Councillor.
We'll invite them back in
Deputy Mayor
and
Banks.
then read the motion as amended.
Do I have a motion as amended?
He does nothing related to pecuniary at this time.
Okay, so he's not in the room for this.
He said he wasn't not coming in.
Okay, So I need a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner's Report IC 35303-1124 recommendation, requests that Deputy Mayor Paula Banks provide an apology to Ms. Alford, and further that a suspension in pay of 15 days be provided. Heard the motion? Discussion. Oh, sorry, you're right. Mover and seconder, please.
I'll move.
Seconder? Councillor Maxwell and Councillor Pollard. Okay, so this one is now open for discussion. Deputy Mayor Banks, please.
May I ask why the 15 days is being added?
I would look to mover the seconder to,
Well, as I already said, I guess you'd already left the room. It's been demonstrated already, the rudeness, inconsideration, disregard for the procedures that should be at this table. And the precedent has already been set earlier this term to not follow the recommendations set out by the IC commissioners, and I feel this behavior needs more than an apology. So I'm suggested 15 days.
So
Second that again.
I am a bit confused because I was found innocent of being rude in this room, being rude on Facebook. So I'll just read my thing. So I had sent Shelley a video that I'd like to be brought up to, please, if we can work on that.
no, I'm not prepared to,
You're unwilling to play the video?
I'm unwilling to play videos. You're allowed to defend yourself verbally at this meeting.
Okay. So I'm going to read this. I think we need to be transparent with the public that all 11 of these complaints, whether they were filed by a taxpayer, grassroots, or maybe even by fellow council members, all reference their displeasure with council for deciding to go to tender with this Chantry office. These 11 complaints contained a long laundry list of 20+ false assertions against only the 5 council members that supported that tender. Some accusations are as serious as breaking the Municipal Act, having a conflict of interest with a contractor, and leaking confidential information during negotiations. I was also falsely accused of bullying residents and council members, both on Facebook and during meetings, and berating and disrespecting the mayor. Add to that the accusation of lying, being the reason staff resigned, stopping council business, and the most insulting and outlandish, the accusation that I extorted Wendy Alford. None of these accusations were found to be true. The 5 of us have been under investigation for over 3 months. The IC investigator was looking for any breach listed in the 11 complaints, and I was found guilty of a single one, turning my back on the Rideau Lakes grassroots delegation, a group that secretly worked with 2 council members for almost 2 years. I'm not saying that is right or a good thing, but it should tell taxpayers that the 5 of us have been under a very big microscope for months. Out of the number of allegations, this was my only crime. I wonder if the actions of the mayor and those in the minority would withstand the same scrutiny. The Integrity Commissioner defended us on all those accusations, so I actually don't need to. Nor do I need to defend my position on tendering Chantry through yet another waste of money and an IC investigation. I think my defense that was posted online should show my fellow council members and the public, the 5 of us at this table are not the only ones that helped create this toxic situation. I hope my fellow council members also see this as an opportunity to move past this by taking a simple apology. This is our olive branch to move forward. These investigations are now being used purely as political weapons with the only intention to stop the retrofit of the chantry. For me, no matter the outcome today, I will not be changing my vote on chantry, even if that means my fellow councillors or the taxpayers file further complaints. Today will boil down for me to one thing. The mayor will either keep his word or he will break his word. The mayor, for the last 2 years, has claimed he has not treated the 5 of us any differently than those that supported his hub. Today we will find out if that's true. The mayor has stated more than once, I am going to be consistent in supporting whatever penalties have been recommended by the IC. That has been my position from day one and will continue to be my position going forward. And that was the video that I was going to play. Thank you.
All right, I would just simply respond to that by saying that I think there's a need to look at each situation on its own, and that this council has, on more than one occasion, moved away from the Integrity Commissioner's recommendation. Anyone else wish to speak to this? All right, then I'm, Councillor Hutchings.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just would like to say I forgive the judge and jury the words that came out from you, because I haven't said anything today. And if you remember what you said about me being rude, and so I forgive you for saying those words.
Okay, what else?
Because only integrity commissioner can bring the whole down on us.
Okay, Councillor Hutchins,
I'm done.
you're finished? Okay. Councillor Delaney, please.
Thank you, Your Worship. I said this the other day, but I'd like to reiterate it for the recording.
Okay.
Under the Municipal Act, the Integrity Commissioner is given the leeway to recommend anything from a reprimand to a 90-day suspension. An apology may be considered by the municipality, but it is outside of the Integrity Commissioner process. So with these recommendations of apologies only, I don't think that this Integrity Commissioner did the job she was supposed to do. So before we canonize her, I think we should maybe consider that. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Then I'm going to call the question. All in favor?
Could I have a recorded vote, please?
Certainly.
The question.
Madam Clerk?
Recorded vote.
Madam Clerk, please call the vote on the motion. Should I read the motion again?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Moved by Councillor Maxwell, second by Councillor Pollard. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commission Report IC 35303-1124 recommendation, requests that Deputy Mayor Paula Banks provide an apology to Ms. Alford, and further that a suspension and pay of 15 days be provided. Okay? There's been a request for a recorded vote.
You read the motion. I'd like to speak to it once more.
Fair enough. I don't believe you're allowed to speak to the penalty.
It's the only thing she can speak to is the penalty.
Oh, okay, the only thing you can speak to is the penalty. Let's be brief then. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I would like to clarify how I can be added 15 days for something I was not convicted of. Councillor Maxwell proceeded to say that I was rude. She said that I disrupted council meetings, that I disrupted the chair, but yet the Integrity Commissioner found me innocent on all those things. So I'm not quite sure how a council member could find me guilty when the Integrity Commissioner could not.
Yeah.
So I'd like some clarification on that.
Okay.
I understand changing the Integrity Commissioner's
Recommendation.
penalty, but you can't find me guilty of something she did not find me guilty of.
All right.
So I would like to clarify that. I was found innocent of all those things.
Well, I think there was an indication there about the chair training incident, not found incident.
That was not being rude to council members, and the integrity commissioner also mentioned your lack of responsibility in that.
That's fine. I'm not being
Well, you're-
considered here.
No, but you're saying to me,
I'm saying exactly what the integrity
and
commissioner
I
said in their
spoke to,
conclusions.
Councillor Maxwell's, saying that I was rude at council meetings, that I was rude to you, that I was rude to council members, and I disrupted council business. I was found innocent on every single one of those.
Okay.
So I would like to make sure that's on the record.
Councillor Maxwell.
Can we have
Final comment, because there has been a
Can
request
we
for a
ask the
vote.
gallery to please stop commenting?
I'm not hearing the gallery, and I will determine if the gallery is commenting when they shouldn't be. Thank you very much. Councillor Maxwell, please.
Well, I was just going to be specific. Turning your back on a delegation that is
That's not
getting
what
up
you
to
said.
speak is rude.
That's not what I
And
said.
that is how the public sees it. I'm still getting questions why this hasn't been dealt with already, so.
I'm still getting questions.
Uh,
so
Deputy Mayor Deputy Mayor Banks, you do not have the floor, please. I'm tired of everybody speaking over everyone else. Councillor Maxwell has the floor.
Okay, and that was, all I was just reiterating that the rudeness is turning the back on a delegation. And she was found guilty by the,
I was found innocent of,
of the
all your
IC,
conditions.
although she was only giving an apology.
All right. I think we've heard
I think
enough.
it needs more than that.
I think I've heard enough. Everyone's had a chance. All right, after the fact, I'll let each of you speak once, please. Go ahead.
All I'm
Councillor Carr.
asking is, you said 15 days suspension, what does that mean?
50 days without pay.
Without pay?
That's correct.
And again, if you're found guilty, it will stay in your chart, but she was not found guilty and it will not change her file, correct?
I don't think that's relevant, but I don't know what's in the file.
I know, but
what the
she
file
has been
says.
found innocent by the integrity commissioner.
By the integrity
Yeah,
commissioner, some of
she's
the,
fine.
some of the allegations were found to
Yes.
not have merit.
Yes.
But the chair training one was.
Okay, there's one thing only, okay, just to make that clear.
Okay, can I get clarification from the clerk,
I
please?
think what Councillor Carr is referring to is our records retention bylaw. So we do have a records retention bylaw, so these documents will stay. What's in the agenda is permanent, because it's part of the
Yes.
agenda package.
Yes, it will stay there.
Yeah,
And
that's right.
she's been found innocent, so.
Well, we
except
have-
for
we
that.
It's a
have-
permanent record
Yeah,
with the
we
municipal.
have the complaint, we have the defense, so it's all part of the record,
Yeah,
Councillor.
but you can't say she's guilty now. We can't, I don't think we can change that file regardless of what we say here, correct?
I can go to the conclusion of the integrity commissioner if that would help.
Councillor Dunfield, please.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I am saddened by this council and their continual warfare. And I would really like to see an olive branch be extended. If you want to put a penalty on everybody, you're doing it and you're causing more rift. And it's continuing. It's sad. And it hurts. And it's not right. If someone has made a mistake, which they were told they have made a mistake, they're going to go by the Integrity Commissioner's report. But the rest of the report identified that these actions were not found to be guilty. So you're still pushing this, you're still making a rift between us, and I would like it to stop.
Okay,
Well-
now let's keep a check on this. I've heard, everyone's had the opportunity to speak. I'm going to ask the clerk to call the vote.
Councillor
Because we've
Carr.
got 10 more of these.
Councillor Carr.
What am I voting on now?
For penalty.
No.
Councillor Delaney.
yes.
Councillor Dunfield.
No.
Councillor Hutchings.
nope.
Councillor Maxwell.
Yes.
Councillor Pollard.
Yes.
Mayor Hoogaboom.
Yes. Motion's carried. Now we go on to the next one.
Oh, actually, I guess I said, is there a penalty for which one?
We don't know yet.
So that was 14.4. 14.4, so now we're on to 14.5. Which is 195. There's 195. And, again, I have a motion to accept the Integrity Commissioner's report and require an apology on this particular complaint. So I need a mover and a seconder for that. Okay, I don't have a mover or a seconder. This is, be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner Report IC 35308-1124 recommendation, request that Deputy Mayor Paula Banks provide an apology to Ms. Alford.
So she's putting it on the table, right?
This is to put this on the table, and then if there's an amendment to that, then I'll have to entertain the amendment. You'll move that? Thank you, Councillor Hutchings. Seconder? Mr. Dunfield? Discussion.
Okay, well,
Councillor Maxwell?
I'm going to motion that we amend it again, 15 days for this one as well.
Okay, so this is a motion to amend the main motion. So I have it moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Pollard. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Rideau Lakes amends the main motion to also include a suspension in pay of 15 days. Discussion. Okay.
Well, it's the same, the public is still really upset about what happened that day. And
You can bring it all in.
just to, in the conclusion, it does say that she behaved inappropriately in turning her back. So she is found guilty of doing that, and to only give an apology is not right.
And this is a second complaint on the same issue. Correct?
Yep.
All right. Any other comments with respect to this motion? Then can I call the question? All in favor? Opposed, if any? Motion is carried. Okay, so now, what are we doing now?
Motion ended.
Oh, yes. I need a mover and a seconder for the motion as amended.
Okay.
Moved by Councillor Pollard, I saw your hand first, second by Councillor Max. Be resolved, the Council of the Corporation of the Town of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner Report IC 35308-1124 recommendation, request that Deputy Mayor Paula Banks provide an apology to Ms. Alfred, and further that a suspension in pay of 15 days be provided. Heard the motion, Councillor Deputy Mayor Paula Banks, please.
I think we need to be transparent with the public that all 11 of these complaints, whether filed by a taxpayer, grassroots, or even a fellow council member, all reference the displeasure of council going ahead with the tender of this office. These 11 complaints contained a laundry list of 20-plus false suspicions against only the 5 council members that supported this tender. Some accusations were as serious as breaking the Municipal Act, having a conflict of interest with a contractor, leaking confidential information during negotiations. I was also falsely accused of bullying residents, council members, both on Facebook and during meetings, and berating and disrespecting the mayor. Add to that lying being the reason staff resigned, stopping council business, and most insulting and outlandish, the accusation I extorted Wendy Alford. None of these accusations were found to be true. The 5 of us have been under investigation for 3 months. This IC investigator looked at any breach listed in the 11 complaints. I was found guilty of a single one, turning my back on the Rideau Lakes grassroots delegation, a group that has secretly worked with 2 council members for almost 2 years. I'm not saying that it's right or a good thing, but it should tell taxpayers the 5 of us have been under a very big microscope for months. And out of the number of allegations, this was my only crime. I wonder if the actions of the mayor and those in the minority would stand the same scrutiny. The Integrity Commissioner defended us on all those accusations, so I do not need to, nor do I need to defend my position on the tendering of Chantry through more IC investigations. I think my defense, which everyone can read online, should show my fellow council members and the mayor that we are not the only ones causing this toxic situation. I hope my fellow council members see this as a second opportunity, as an olive branch, and just to take an apology. These investigations are now being used purely political, and they need to stop. For me, no matter the outcome today, I will not be changing my vote on Chantry, even if there are further investigations, including from fellow council members. The mayor for the last 2 years has claimed he does not treat the 5 of us any differently, but we saw earlier that he did. The mayor has stated more than once, I'm going to be consistent in supporting whatever penalties have been recommended by the IC. That has been my position from day one and will continue to be my position going forward. But we can see from earlier, that is yet one more of the mayor's false statements that he's gone back on. Thank you.
Okay. Well, I'm really not going to agree with that particular defense. I think there's a lot of the defense that is completely irrelevant to the issue of turning the chairs, which I felt was one of the worst examples that I've ever seen in my entire career of disrespect to our
The Integrity
citizens.
Commissioner also spoke to your lack of responsibility in chairing the meetings properly, just so
Well,
that
and
you're
that,
aware.
that's.
Would you like me to read that?
No, I don't need to read that. I'm aware of what the Integrity Commissioner put. in
Well,
the
then
report.
don't.
They also told me that as the chair, I have control of the meeting.
You have
And-
control of some meetings,
and-
you just changed the agenda.
Well, that's fine. We will continue to change the procedure bylaw to suit your purposes as you go forward, I'm sure. Other comments or questions with respect
Point
to
of
the motion
order.
that's on the floor?
That's appropriate to say that.
No, it's not, but it's true. May not be, it certainly is true. How many times have we changed the procedure bylaw to accommodate these requests?
We are allowed to change the procedural bylaw
Absolutely.
anytime the majority of council wishes.
And I respect that.
You have one vote the same way we do.
All right, that's fair enough, Councillor, but this is not what's being debated here today.
No, what's being debated is you
Is it
telling
pen-
public one thing and then you changing it, just the way you told us you never spoke with the facilitator of the strategic plan, but we also know that you changed your story on that
This is
too.
all speculation on your part. There is no
No.
facts here, and I will not have you disparage my leadership or disparage
I didn't.
and say
The
that.
Integrity Commissioner did, I didn't.
No, the
She-
integrity.
Point of
Commissioner.
order
She wrote-
between the two of you, just
she wrote
stop,
it.
Stop,
both of you.
exactly.
Sorry.
Not a point of order.
I'm
but
not being rude, I just
I'm-
want everything to,
I'm ready
Get
to
her
call,
done.
get her done, I'm gonna call the question.
stupid, it is.
You want the motion again?
Record a vote, please.
Okay. Madam Clerk, please call the vote on this motion.
Councillor Carr.
No.
Councillor Delaney.
Yes.
Councillor Dunfield.
No.
Councillor Hutchings.
No.
Councillor Maxwell.
Yes.
Councillor Pollard.
Yes.
Mayor Hoogaboom.
Yes, motion is carried. We'll now move on to 15.6 on the agenda, which is the third Integrity Commissioner complaint against Deputy Mayor Paula Banks. And I'm just looking for the right spot here. Okay, so the initial motion would be to provide an apology, correct?
Correct.
Okay. I need a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commission Report, IC 35313-1123, recommendation requests that Deputy Mayor Paula Banks provide an apology to Ms. Alford. Do I have a mover and a seconder for the Moved by Councillor Dunfield. Seconded by Councillor Hutchings. Thank you. Discussion.
Motion to amend this one too.
Okay.
Same thing, 15 days.
Do we have a motion for that, please? Do I have a seconder? Councillor Delaney. Be resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes amend the main motion to also include a suspension of 15 days. Heard the motion, discussion. Now, I do note this is a complaint from another citizen who is then identified in the defense, and I certainly have certain concerns about the ability of the public to make complaints anonymously and then have us publish the clear names of the persons that were involved in that. That will not encourage people to come forward when they have concerns about any of our activities. Other comments or questions with respect to this amendment? Then I'll call the question. All in favor of the amendment? Opposed, if any? Same vote, carried. Thank you. Okay. So the motion of the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner Report IC 35313-1123 recommendation, request that Deputy Mayor Paula Bank provide an apology to Ms. Alford and further that a suspension of pay of 15 days be provided. Have that mover, please. Moved by Councillor Maxwell. Do I have a seconder?
Yeah.
Councillor Delaney. Motion's on the floor. Who wishes to speak to this one? Okay, Councillor Carr.
Okay, exactly what is she being charged with now?
This is the third one, which included the turning of the chairs.
No, it can't be that. We've done that. We've done 3 of them already, have we
Well,
not?
it's 15 days per complaint is what council is proposing.
So it's just the turning of chairs again?
That's all it was found guilty of.
I've got more than that. So there's 3 charges for turning her back 3 times.
Yep.
She only turned it once.
Oh, that's, I mean, I'm just reading what the motion is, so. All right, anyone else wish to speak to this one? We've heard that defense, so I'll ask, you want to record a vote again?
No.
Okay.
I'm, just want to clarify, so out of the list of 20-plus accusations, which some of them are actually almost criminal, I was found guilty of turning my back, and you're gonna charge me 45 days for turning my back, just so we're clear.
That is what's on the tables.
And even though you said that you would accept every integrity commissioner because it's me and it's about the office, you've now changed
No,
your
it has nothing to
position.
do with the office.
Every single complaint mentioned the office.
Well, that may be the fact, but
No, that is-
that's not the basis of my decision.
Okay, so can I ask why you changed your decision then?
My decision is because I felt that a simple apology was not nearly strong enough to drill home the message that that behavior is inappropriate. I
But
said-
even though,
Let me finish.
but even though
Let me
you were
finish.
mentioned,
Let me finish, please, and then I'll let you
Okay.
respond, okay? And I mentioned this at the meeting afterwards, that I felt that was the most disrespectful thing that I've seen in my 50-year career in municipal government. And that is my position, and if it's the position of the majority of the council that are eligible to vote on this issue, then so be it. Go ahead, Deputy Mayor, you can comment. I'm not going to be here to defend myself, though.
I'm going to speak to the integrity commissioner's report and
Fair
the
enough.
penalty.
Go
And
ahead.
she also mentioned that your lack of good leadership caused this problem.
No, she not.
Actually, she did.
No,
She
she
said
simply said,
you
I
as
had
the
the,
mayor,
she said I
are
had
you
the
gonna let me
ability.
speak? Are you gonna let me speak?
All right, I'll let you speak, but then I'll correct you.
Well, you correct us all the time, so I don't think that's anything different.
Are you finished?
I'm just asking why you failed to even speak to the fact that she said you as chair had some responsibility in what happened in that meeting. You
Yes.
failed to take control of the meeting. You could have addressed it right away. You could have stopped Ms. Alford at any time during that delegation, especially when she leaked confidential information. You chose not to.
She did not, I'm not aware that she leaked any confidential information at that meeting.
I'll just take my
And I will,
45 days.
and I will tell you that,
I'm fine with the
that
45.
by the time I realized what was going on, I was looking over my shoulder to see what everybody was looking at, and the delegation was pretty much over. So, I mean, this is
Council
not,
has
this is
decided
not,
to
this
make
is
a
about,
mockery of these
this
things,
is about the
so-
public being concerned and has expressed to me repeatedly over the last month how disgusted they are with that particular behavior, okay? And so that is the basis for my decision. I'll let others speak for their own basis. If they've got a different basis, that's fine too.
No, but the others did not declare that you would never go against the integrity commissioner, but now you do because it's me, so I don't have
It's
to
not
question
because it's
the
you,
others. I'll take my
it's because of
45.
everybody,
Thank you.
okay? Is there a recorded vote requested for
Yes,
this one?
please.
Okay. Madam Clerk, call the vote, please.
Councillor Carr?
No.
Councillor Delaney?
Yes?
Councillor Dunfield?
No.
Councillor Hutchings? No. Councillor Maxwell?
Yes.
Councillor Pollard?
Yes.
Mayor Gordon?
Yes. Now we go on to the next one, which is with respect to Councillor Jeff Banks. And this is 14.7 on the agenda. Okay, I need a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner Report IC 35304-1124 recommendation, request that Councillor Jeff Banks provide a public apology to the mayor. Do I have a mover and a seconder for that? Councillor Dunfield? And a seconder? Councillor Maxwell. Okay. Is there discussion with respect to this one?
Okay, motion to amend here too.
Okay,
It's 15 days.
do we have one for that? Okay. I have it moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Delaney. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes amends the main motion to also include a suspension of 15 days. Motion, you've heard the motion, discussion. Again, it's probably the similar rationale to what we've heard before.
Well, I think, in this one again, this is where he's questioning your authority. And again, he was doing it at the beginning of this meeting. So I don't think an apology is appropriate.
Okay?
I don't know how you feel about that.
Well, I will speak to Councillor Banks privately on that topic and see what he has to say to me. Okay? Okay, then I guess I can call the question, unless there's other people that wish to speak to this one. Hear none, I'll call the question. All in favor? Opposed, if any? That motion is carried. So now we have the revised motion. I have it, I need a mover and a seconder for this one. Moved by Well, seconded by Councillor Pollard. Be resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes, in accordance with the Integrity Commissioner's Report IC 35304-1124 recommendation, requests that Councillor Jeff Banks provide a public apology to the mayor, and further that a suspension pay of 15 days be provided. Heard the motion, discussion. Councillor Jeff Banks, please.
Yeah, I've been on council for 25 years. I've never had this happen to me, and I'm just concerned as, you know, I'm sitting at a table where there's a lot of, you know, vengefulness and vindictive people at the table. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't even have to apologize to Wendy Alford. I did get in the report that you should have chaired that meeting better from the Integrity Commissioner, so I'm concerned at that. I did challenge your role as mayor.
Subsequent meeting, yes.
Yes, and the Integrity Commissioner said I should get a reprimand for that, but when I went back and reread the procedural bylaw to her, I was allowed to do that. And so she said I should apologize to you. So I don't have a problem doing that, but I don't know why somebody is so vengeful that, is it gotten to that point that you're so vengeful that you have to take 15 days pay? Does it mean that much? I just don't understand it.
Well, I can certainly let others speak to the issue if they wish to.
Well, I'm not finished yet.
Oh, okay.
And I did watch a video where you said that you were going to take in the recommendations of the Integrity Commissioner, and that you were going to stay that course, and you were going to be consistent with that. So I'm hoping that you're not going to vote for this, I'm hoping.
Okay.
So,
Would anyone else wish to speak to this? Okay, then I'm ready to call the question. All in favor?
This is on the 15-day penalty.
This is on the combined apology and 15-day penalty.
can you repeat me who made that motion, please?
Moved by Councillor Maxwell, second by Councillor Pollard.
Oh. That's funny.
Okay. Can I call the question then? I'm going to call the question. All in favor? Motion is carried.
Go. I'll leave for the second one too.
Now, we're on to 35304.
14.8, yeah.
35309.
Okay. So, I need a mover and a seconder. Be it resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes acknowledges its receipt of the Integrity Commissioner Report IC 35309-1124 regarding Councillor Banks. With no penalty suggested other than an apology. Was there not?
Not on the second one.
Not on the second one? Okay. So you heard the motion. Any discussion? I need a mover and a seconder for that, first of all. Sorry.
Okay, so what is the,
It's just simply that we receive it. Acknowledge receipt.
oh, I think this one needs to be amended as well.
We can move for a second.
I
For
need a
15.
first I need a mover and a seconder
Oh, okay.
to this, and then if you wish to amend the motion, then I will entertain that. So I move by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by? No one wishes to second the motion?
I thought Councillor Hutchings had a hand up.
No, I got my hand, I'm praying.
Okay.
Oh.
Councillor Delaney. Okay. So that motion is now on the floor, and if you wish to amend it, I would need to understand what the amendment needs to be.
Okay, well, again, for 15 days, because
This one?
5 of them automatically turned their backs.
No, we didn't.
It was quite obvious, as soon as Ms.
Point of order, we are talking about one particular individual, not all 5.
All right, it's not a point of order, but I will acknowledge that we're talking about the individual, and of course, the individual, you know, it was an action that was taken by all 5, okay? Because we've already determined that.
We need a mover and a second. If she's putting that on the floor.
If you're putting the 15 days on the floor, I need a mover and a seconder for that.
Okay, well,
Moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Pollard. Be it resolved that the Council of Operation of the Township of Rideau Lakes amends the main motion to also include a suspension of 15 days. So, motion's on the floor, discussion.
well, again, you know, he turned his back automatically, and I'm not buying into his reasoning
The reasoning.
for turning his back.
Okay.
That came out after the fact.
Yes.
It seemed to come out after, as you mentioned earlier, that the next meeting, you commented about how disappointed you were in the behavior at the meeting where they did do that. And that's when the excuse came out.
Okay. Fair enough. Anyone else wish to speak to this? Councillor Dunfield.
Thank you. The Integrity Commissioner's comments at the end of this said that she, accordingly, I do not consider that this was a violation of the Code of Conduct. As indicated above, I do not consider these two grounds of complaint to be valid. So there was no penalty here. So how can we add a penalty?
I guess the rationale is that although the Integrity Commissioner can recommend whatever they wish, Council has the prerogative of increasing the penalty or decreasing the penalty, and we have done that on at least a couple of occasions in the past. So
Okay,
whether-
thank you. You've answered the question.
Whether there's a penalty or not, it is up to the majority of council that have the ability
Thank
to
you.
vote. Okay? All right, so this is the amendment, so I'm ready to call the question. All in favor of the amendment? Opposed, if any? That motion is still carried. So now we have we're back to the original motion. And is this where
Yes.
Jeff should come back in, right? And I'll wait till he comes back in. Okay, I have it, I need a mover and a seconder for the amended motion. Moved by Councillor Maxwell, seconded by Councillor Delaney. Be resolved that the Council of the Corporation of the Township of Rideau Lakes acknowledges receipt of the Integrity Commissioner Report IC 35309-1124 regarding Councillor Jeff Banks, and further that a suspension in pay of 15 days be provided. Heard the motion, discussion. Councillor Banks, go ahead, please.
So this is just dirty now. I did something, I challenged you, which I was allowed to under the code. Maybe in the heat of the moment, I might not have done it properly. But when you do something, when you go to like a trial, and I'm sure the same mover and seconder, you get charged for something, you get charged for it. They don't keep bringing you back again and again because people complain. And I said that to the Integrity Commissioner, that these things need to be treated as like that to make sure that everything's in the up and up. And again, I'm going to look at you and say that you have said again and again that you are going to stay, not once, stay the course with the Integrity Commissioner's recommendations. And I find this very vindictive and vengeful, and I don't like it. This isn't how council's supposed to operate. This is all over the hub. And then it turned to the office, and that's what it's all about. And it's going to continue on until we get the chantry. And Ron, you don't have to look away. You can look at me if I'm going to look at you. You don't have to look away. But this is what it's all about. Everybody sees it. We know who filed these complaints. It's so easy to figure that out. But I just find it very vindictive and vengeful that this is what has to happen.
Okay. Well, I don't know.
You don't
why-
have to explain, you don't have to
Well,
answer me.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
respond.
you don't have to.
Okay? This is not about the hub. This is about people turning their back on a delegation.
Oh, I wasn't found guilty for that.
It doesn't matter, you did it. From my
Oh.
perspective, you did it, and you should have been found guilty of
I
it.
was not,
Now-
so you're the Integrity Commissioner now?
No, I'm not the Integrity Commissioner, but I think there's a major
I
problem
had
with
a
the whole.
valid reason.
Wait a minute.
You go ahead and do your spiel, go ahead.
Okay? I don't accept your quote valid reason, but I will tell you that the reality is that many of us have in the past not followed the Integrity Commissioner recommendation. I know that Smith Falls recently had one, and they didn't follow the Integrity Commissioner's reasoning. So we are free as a group to decide whether we feel the penalty is appropriate or not appropriate, okay? And I'm just tired of you and others talking about the hub. The hub died a year and a half ago. It's time to move on, and this has nothing to do with the hub. I certainly don't, not in my mind anyway. Maybe it has something to do with the hub in your mind, which is fine. That's your prerogative. But I think there's problems with the Integrity Commissioner legislation where we're expected to be judge and jury of our peers at the table. And that is a problem in my view, and I've told the ministry that, I've told our member that. I think that's a flaw. And if they will change that legislation, they may well do that in the future, and they may make it so it's mandatory, that whatever the Integrity Commissioner rules, and I'd be fine if that were to happen in the future, because it would take it off our plate and avoid the necessity of us doing it here at this table, okay? Councillor Banks, I'll hear you one last time, and then I'm moving on.
So I had a valid reason for turning my back, and the Integrity Commissioner confirmed that. Why you think I should be charged when she says I did not violate the code of conduct at all with me turning my back to Ms. Alfred? I had a valid reason. So I don't know why you want to trump up the charge or change the charge, because you just said it, because I turned my back, I had a valid reason. So if you want to start laying a charge on me for stuff that was valid, then we're really running off the rails here, and it's getting very, very, very dirty. Dirty.
And I would say that the public doesn't accept that quote valid
Well,
reason either.
the Integrity Commissioner is, well, like, she's very experienced, and she did a great job on these reports.
Okay,
So I don't know why you want to be that way with me. You're going to vote for this. I really, really question,
well,
why you would do that.
I will be voting my conscience here, as will other
Okay,
members.
all right.
All right? All right, any other discussion? Then I'm ready to call the question. All in favor? Opposed, any? Motion's carried. Now move on to the next.